All right, here we go. We got the 10 o'clock update. So we're putting in the numbers in that we're getting from the Secretary of State. It seems like they're coming through a little bit better now. By the way, I'm Eric Swanson. I'm your host. This is Mojave River Valley News. This is our special edition for reporting results for March 7th at 10 o'clock tonight. So we're going to go ahead and start coming through. Now, some of the numbers you have on the bottom of the screen, you're going to see them changing rapidly now because the team is updating those from the Secretary of State. But what we're going to do is we're going to show you some county numbers here of what we are from the San Bernardino County Register of Voters Office. And let's go ahead and go to the next slide here. So again, I want to just remind you, if you have questions or something, because we've had a few people have asked a couple questions there that, about some of the stuff we've already covered. Why does the results, why can't they all be done at the same time? Well, one of those things is, you remember, a lot of those cars, they have to drive all the way from Apple Valley, even as far as Needles, to go all the way down to the Register of Voters Office, and that could take a while to get there. Now, when you're talking about Barstow and whatever, so what happens down there, as the numbers, as the ballots come in, they come in, as soon as they come in, they're taken care of. That's a box, goes to being counted, and so forth. Right now, they're probably knocking off ballots like crazy. So you'll find a lot of these outskirt communities that takes a while for that vehicle to get all the way down there. The other question that came up was asking about not understanding how our districts got broken up. Again, that's from the 2020 census. What they do is they figure out exactly where people move, where people live, and where they are now. And they come up with these numbers. So what it is it's usually 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans, and 2 people that are not biased one way or the other, and they kind of get together, and I think there might maybe 2 more of the committee, and I can't remember if there's 6 or there's 8. So they get together and they try to figure out how to make all these areas work. And by state law, they have to have these special areas which are districts that are designed so that a minority vote can actually still have a certain power, and that's where the 39th came in. That's one of those districts. So let's go ahead and move into the first screen here. So we know that this race is pretty much done. The question is who is going to be running against Jay Obernolte? And I'm starting to see that it's still a close race, but it looks like Derek Marshall is still going to come in there pretty solid with this. Jay these numbers are very, very similar to when he was running against the last candidate he ran against. They're not that far off. So anyway, so our prediction here is we know Jay will be one of the seats for this fall here in November. The question is, will it be Blanco or will it be Derek? My projection now is the numbers will start trending at this point here. I think it's a pretty high probability, and we'll see more when we hit the 12 o'clock numbers, that it's going to be Derek. So let's go ahead and move to the next screen here. So this is the 28th district. This is the one that Wrightwood kind of got shoved down to, and it's pretty obvious the 2 candidates we thought were going to be there at the top are both there, and which is really surprising. They're actually much closer than I thought they were going to be. So we'll have to watch this race and see what this happens with this one here, because if I see this correctly, William, correct me if I'm wrong here, what are the 2 numbers, because it's hard to see those. It's like 24 and it's 47% and 46% right now. So this will be very interesting, this race here, and we'll have to watch this one as it moves along to figure out, who takes it. But it's obvious that those 2 there will be the 2 that will be on the November ballot. So let's go ahead and move to the next screen here. And now we should get into the assembly seats. Now this is the 34th. This is the one we've been talking about. This has Rita Ramirez in it, along with Smitty Smith and also Tom Lackey. The numbers you're seeing are a little bit confusing because these are San Bernardino County numbers. You have to still combine it along with LA County numbers. One of the things we're seeing between LA County is the numbers seem to be coming in quicker in LA County than they are here. I don't know why. It might be just a different way that they do their polling, over the way they do their voting and so forth. So this one here, this race is going to take a while to probably figure out. It'll be going into the evening to say, all right, who is actually the person here, because you're going to see Smitty's on top now, but if you look at LA County, Tom is on top. So we're going to be updating this real shortly here. We're going to actually start giving you state numbers from now on, starting at midnight tonight. The numbers at the bottom are numbers that they're slowly updating across there. Some of them are pretty obvious. For example, the state Senate race, it was kind of interesting because there's 2 seats. There's a short term and a long term. Remember, the short term is the Kamala Harris seat. And both Alex and Mark Mosier are both running for these. And it's very interesting because both of them are 1-2, 1-2. One of the things I was trying to ask another expert out there is, what happens when we get down to the end of the year and we have one of them is going to be Alex, is going to take one of the seats. Alex can't take both seats. Is it appointed by the governor, or does the second place person? I don't know. We're going to see if we can find that out this evening and try to figure out how that works. Let's go ahead and move into the next race here. This is the 39th. This is that district we were talking about before. That's kind of half of Hesperia, half of, I should say, the west part of Hesperia, west part of Victorville, and I believe Analanto, and the east part of Palmdale and Lancaster. It's this little group in between there where the Tom Lackey and the Smitty Smith one, it kind of wraps all the way around. This race here is pretty much solid that I'm going to say that as the numbers come through, it'll be Paul Marsh, and the question is who would be the other person. That's still a little bit out there, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be Juan at this point here because it seems to be trending that direction for him. I think that's going to be pretty solid. Let's move on to the next race. This should be the county races. These I'm pretty sure we can call these now, and at midnight we'll put the check marks on there. Shannon Dykes will be able to be not an appointed sheriff, he'll be actually the elected sheriff, which congratulations to him. And also Ensign Mason, good friend. It's good to see both of these guys get their seats because these guys are wonderful in the jobs they do. They really are. They're doing a great job for us in the county here. And so I think at midnight we'll definitely want to put our green check marks on both of these. Let's go ahead and go on to the next race here. So I want to talk about the next update from the county is going to be at midnight tonight. And we'll be doing that, and also we'll be, through this period of time here, we'll be updating so we can have some more exact. At that time there, we'll give you some state numbers instead of local county numbers to show you exactly what it is. So we're trying to keep an eye on it here, and when it comes around midnight, we'll be right back with you. I'm Eric Swanson. I'm your host for this special edition of our election results for March 7th of 2022. And stay with us. By the way, if you're on YouTube, please subscribe and then click the little bell. That helps us so that when we do have a new broadcast or something we're sending out there, that you'll get notified going, hey, look, they're getting ready to do something. You're on Facebook, please like us and so forth. And like I said before, if you have questions, please send them to social media at ciaso.com, or you can make a comment on YouTube, or you can actually make a comment on Facebook, and we'll try to get those. There's a few of those are coming through. We'll get all those things answered at midnight tonight. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you in just a little bit less than 2 hours. See you then.